This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that.
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a big warm welcome. Yes, we're back. It's the second pod of the week. And if we do anything like we did on the first show, it's going to be one hell of a week for you Bar Stewards punters. 2 double claxons, of course, on the first show. 14-1. Absolutely hammered the pair of them in the betting. And we're hoping to do something. It may be a big ask to do something similar, but we're hoping to do so again. So I've freshened the lineup up here, and we've got an excellent lineup, in fact. John is always my counterpart on this, so he's here. Nick Davis, good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Lee.
Freshened up from his York venture this week, Wednesday in the middle, and we won the quiz again. And Nick's freshened up with his day off yesterday, and he's backfiring for the weekend. And last but not least, this guy, we've ruined his life. He started listening to us, having never been interested in horse racing. 2020, he fell in love with the game, and he now works for Dragon Bet on course, and he's quite highly thought of by their hierarchy. I'd like to call him also, not just an acquaintance, but a friend of mine, Finn Nicholl. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you very much, Lee. It's an honour to be on the Bar Stewards. Set a very high bar this week, but I'll try my best to back it up on my last day.
Well, you've seen plenty happening this week. And talking of which, there's been like a bit of an on-course boom this week in terms of the value on course. Now, do you want to tell our listeners what's been happening on course in terms of like the value that's been struck there this week?
So obviously I'm on a week off this week, so I'm a punter this week, not a bookmaker. And there has been a lot of value on course. I've been in the grandstand and paddock all week. I will give a shout out quickly to Tim Brown. I won't mention the other one, Lee.
Yeah,
but there has been a lot of value on course, a lot of books paying Q4 places on 16 runners or more. You've got your big Jim paying your 5 and your 6 places. They said the business wasn't what they expected, but there's a lot of value on course, so that's a good sign.
Wow. Nick Davis, what are we making of this? Could we see an on-course boom coming back as affordability checks sort of hit?
Especially as they give me £3 off for being an old age pensioner in the middle of the thing. That was a great value. I mean, I've got the great value.
Yeah.
No, but I love seeing people on course trying to beat the bookmakers. It's one of those things now that people they tap away on the machine, do this, that, and the other. Get out and support your local course.
Absolutely. And your on-course bookmakers, bitch, because I believe they're the lifeblood of the sport now. Forget big corporations, big operators, terrible people they are. Go on course and support like small bookmaking brands and business need that sort of support if business has been light this week at York. Probably get Michael Cannon on at some point to discuss the business of late in terms of turnover at these big tracks. Without further ado, we'll get on with the show. This is the best bets round, and normally we'll do 3 best bets, but obviously with just York's Ebor meeting on Saturday to look at, we're just going to go 1 best bet of the day, and then maybe other bets that each contributor might be having at the York card tomorrow. So, who shall I come to first? Come on then, Finn. Kick us off. You're the newbie. Yes, you're straight into bat, opening batsman.
You've come to me firstly, okay. I'm going to get it out of the way in the Strensall Stakes in the 150. The reason for the bet, King's Gambit is favourite. And I watched this at Newbury and I thought it was completely gone at the game compared to its London Gold Cup form last year. I just can't have that at all. Bullet Point, I can't imagine will run. Will it run, boys?
Let's have a look. Let's see if they pulled it out. No, it's still in there at the 11-2 mark, but don't know. Not sure on that one. It's not like the shirt to run one within 2 days, is it?
Yeah. Anyway, Skakusa was a rank bad price at 6-1. So the bet is Gladius. Oisin Murphy, Andrew Balding. This travelled like an absolute good thing at Goodwood. It never looked like getting beat. They've bet it from 3-1 into 11-8. This is a group horse in a handicap, and it's now in a group race. They've nicked the price.
I think you put it up then.
Yeah,
I think
it
you
wa-
say to put it up.
yeah. That's probably why, Nick. It was 9-1 earlier. 6-1 is just about acceptable. So yeah, that'll be my 3 points win. Gladius.
Lovely. We love it. Gladius is available at 6-1. Just to try and clarify who it's with. And it's with, of course, Ladbrokes and Coral. Dirty Entain for Finn to get his sixes. The race will obviously cover later on in the TV races. We'll cross-section Finn's selection later on. Right, come on to Mr. Nick Davis, because you've been absent this week, obviously travelling up to York on the day we recorded the first podcast, so you'll be itching to get your best bet out.
My best bet goes in the last. I think Michael Bell got a bit carried away with the run in the Hunt Cup of Greek Order. It's his first run back. I think he really enjoyed the straight mile end-to-end gallop this is of the Hunt Cup, where he was, on his side, he was second to the Good Thing. He's looked the last twice in sort of more steadier run races at Sandown and Goodwood, as if the step back up and trip will suit him. You can't forget he should have won the Cambridgeshire bar a clear run, and he's mocked up at Newbury over 10 furlongs. He gets this tomorrow. Westridge is £8 higher. Maria Gazi should have run in the Clipper really of a £7 lower mark, and I think they should be much nearer in the market. I'll make greater order about 4-1, 9-2, and he's 6-1. So that is where my money is going.
Oisin Murphy in the saddle on Greek Order for Nick in the finale. Good luck with that, but not too much luck with that, Nick, because coming on to me now, we've got a difference of opinion, Jeffrey, says Jimmy Tarbuck. Jan is my selection. The Kent Yard in Newmarket. This horse is simply a wrong price at 9-1. If this was trained by a Haggis or a Balding, this would be a lot shorter. It's because it's TJ Kent, and unfortunately, it's an unfashionable yard. Despite the fact that he can get one ready, he's a very, very capable trainer at Newmarket, really can get them ready after a nice little break. And this horse shaped like the best horse at the weights in the Magnet Cup. Now, if you put that into context, then what if he'd have won the Magnet Cup? What he'd have got up in the weights, and what price would he have been here? And the fact is, he was the best horse at the weights. £19 upgrade. He came right from the back. Was beaten 1 3/4 lengths, and simply, I have no idea why this horse is the price he is, because the back class is ridiculous. He's contested group races all his life. Very few handicaps, only the last few starts handicaps, but obviously the trainer had got him back last time because obviously of the performance. A repeat performance has to see him go close. Even if they go slow, he's already done it off slow fractions. Imagine if they go quick or quicker than that. I think he's a great bet around the 9-1 mark, and I would be 5-1 tops for Jan, as I think he's got to make the frame, has to make the frame at least for me, from a nice drawing stall 3. So Jan, you'll have to decide between me and Nick who you go with, or maybe, Nick, a broadcast, a reverse
Yes,
broadcast.
you've got to go with the broadcast. I mean, if it ends up 5s and 7s, that's 35-1, so why not?
Right, John, finish us off, please, with your very bestie.
Right, my best bet tomorrow is in the Melrose, believe it or not.
Good God, the worst Melrose ever.
Yes, it is, I think. It's the worst Melrose I can remember, I think. But if you think there's a bet there, it doesn't really matter, does it? So,
absolutely.
And I'm going with the Harry Eustace train, Sea of Kings. This one has been crying out for this trip, since God's dog was a pup, basically. 2 runs at 10. Don't even begin to tell the story early on. I mean, that was a lovely effort at Chepstow, despite appearing disappointing as an beaten odds-on favourite. He was behind Rogue Millions and a decent one of Willie Aggas's that should be running in this, but isn't. Then he ran second to Skimmer on the all-weather. Skimmer's rated in the 90s now. This one runs here off 83. You can forget Goodwood because the ground was very, very low, so wouldn't suit this sort of seeing the stars. You look at the dam side, Hernando is the dam sire. Stamina. This is going to improve no end for another 2 furlongs and return to fast ground. 11 to 2, help yourselves.
You know, I like the confidence and I like the case. I think that's a really, really strong case you made there, John. Only issue that you might have here, obviously the Doyler, James Doyle, didn't ride today, isn't riding tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at who's possibly available in terms of a top jockey, and that'd be the only worry because the top jockey
Wouldn't the Tuds to be around?
could be a turn up, on this one, or
a potential second jockey for that.
Could be.
Ryan Moore's not got a mount, has he?
Possibly. Maybe Mr. Eustace might go for Ryan. Again, that would shorten it markedly if Ryan Moore was in the saddle. So, interesting. 11 to 2, John. I like the price. I like the price of what we've gone for. There's Finn with a very, very competent 6 to 1 perk in the Strensall. There is Nick with a... What price was yours, Nick? 13 to 2? 6. Sixes Greek order. Myself with 9s and John with 11 to 2. So nothing too obvious there for us on a Saturday. And you only need one of those to win to show a profit on the day. So we hope we'll get it right with at least one of them. And of course, if you want to do a lucky, that's what you should also do. You can even scope for each way lucky. So good luck if you decide to play any of those. We'll come on to the next part of our tipping show. We're going to do York's races and then any other business for the Saturday at the end if anyone's got any opinion elsewhere other than York. So let's come on to the Strensall then to start with. Finn has kicked us off with Gladius, which is, again, I like this horse a lot. Finn's correcting what he said, travelled through like a Rolls Royce at Goodwood and clearly is obviously a lot better than that. Only thing I'd say in this, chaps, don't the half ruin it for everyone. Like 94, now we're at 99. We could have our bollocks on this off 99 in handicap. Couldn't we? We could just go, yay, Christmas. 6 to 4, it's fine. We'll have that, yes. But no, they make it more tricky. So, but I can understand because the Strensall this year, John, would you agree? Lacks sort of depth. My view on it is King's Gambit. Finn says he didn't like it at Newbury, thinks it's gone. I personally think also, even if it isn't gone, this is not its trip. I think it's going to struggle.
No, I remember, do you remember Lee last year at York in the Sky Bet or something like that?
Yeah.
They went a crawl and it was outspeeded. It didn't look to have the pace for 10 furlongs there, didn't it, in a crawl?
I'd say the trip's a massive negative, and I think the market is priced up on ratings, 113, so obviously it's clear on ratings, but apart from Skakusa, of course. But still, I genuinely think that this is up for, not a boil over, but something else other than the Fav. I can't be with the Fav at all. So, Nick, where do you stand on this?
I think a 3-year-old will win it, probably. If it's a bit easier, I might back King of Cities. That's probably got the best figure on the field in over 9 furlongs, isn't it? Behind Almeric at Newmarket in the spring.
Fielden. That was a war of attrition. That Fielden race, I remember saying to John after that race, I said, if anything runs within 6 weeks of this, like just take it on, because they went absolutely bananas. They all finished legged. Yeah. And I've noticed Almeric hasn't been out since.
No.
It's finally got an entry. They've put in the Champion Stakes, Almeric, which suggests an autumn campaign. But it shows you how hard a race that actually was. And I don't think he'd recovered properly, even in on 1st of June, King of Cities in the French Derby. Then was third to Opera Ballot and a fair third last time to Siegel's 11. But I would just wonder if that Fielden bottomed quite a few, because, geez, that wasn't. I challenge anyone to watch that back. It looked like an Ida at the finish. John, your thoughts on this?
I would have been all over Fox Legacy and even declared. As things stand, I'm a bit of chuck along with Beaumark, John and the real Slim Theory. Wasn't ready for the French Derby back at the beginning of June. All happening so quick for him, and the occasion seemed to get the better of him. That said, only making the 6.5 lengths. Avoided Ascot, was given time to come to terms with himself, and I'm expecting to see a much more mature individual here. And let's be fair, he's only got to improve 5 or 6 pound be right in among it. I think that's well within his compass. Don't forget he's a Kingman that was running on good to softs last time when he disappointed. Prior to that, he looked excellent on good to serve at this track. I love a bit of York's form. When he beat Point of Contact, I believe his 3's on, but York's form is York form. Don't really see a scenario where this doesn't run a smashing race here.
He's another one. He's another one that's still has got untapped potential. He's definitely one for anyone's shortlist. But I think the consensus of this podcast, Finn's best bet obviously is Gladius. Would we be like as Barsters? We can't be with the fav, can we?
No.
Yeah, stripe form, stripe form.
Stripe form. There you go. Dragon Bet tomorrow. That's it. I'm at Stripe. Best price guaranteed on King's Gambit tomorrow. Yeah, with price boost from Dragon Bet, I'm sure. They're not Finn's words, they're my words. So take no notice. I don't want to get him in trouble. The 225 at York is the Melrose, and obviously it's probably left a lot of us disappointed as we do a 5 to follow podcast and we're obsessed with finding the Melrose winner, except this year, John, not one of us managed to get a runner in it.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
We're rubbish.
I can't believe I said daily for me that I was a runner.
Delta was the last chance for Jack, and,
Yeah.
and the baby Joseph even decided not to declare
I think
Delta.
somebody must have rung the baby Joseph up and told him the situation.
Yeah, and so Jack's tipped this.
Yeah.
Jack's middle name soon is going to be Jack Non-Runner Veach. I've never known a lad that's got plenty of great ideas and great sort of anti-post advice. And it's as if all trainers go around each other saying, "Oh, Jack's tipped it. Oh, fuck you, scratch it. Yeah, go for your alternative target." Poor Jack.
There is a 5 to follow form line in this race, Lee.
Go on.
Noble Horizon was, I think, a 5 to follow from John this year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. That beat Sea of Kings at Chepstow in the price by real bookmakers at Dragon Bet Maiden Stakes.
Ah.
So there we go.
There you go. I love that. The Dragon Bet made it. Yeah, I love that.
A little mention on the pod there. That is the 5 to follow form line. So I'm happy to roam with John with Sea of Kings tomorrow.
You do realise as well now that every listener now is you've been sponsored by Dragon Bet. Your bookie sponsored. No silver has changed our hands, only gold. So Sea of Kings for Finn in terms of backing up John, and I agree. John makes a fantastic case. It's probably one that passed me by when I looked at the decks, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to look for some value. I'm trying to look for a big price, and maybe he just weren't big enough. I was trying to think of something that's a really big price. Couldn't find one. It's pretty rubbish. Nick, your thoughts on the Melrose?
Well, I come down on the Sea of Kings as well. So,
wow.
At the trip, I don't think nothing's put up really good figures. Talaman's Time and Many Men have probably got the best figures at the trip, but they're not sort of. A few of them be beating each other. Polestar beat Many Men, and then it was reversed. And I saw that race at Goodwood Sea of Kings, and it went into my notebook there. They have backed it. I mean, it was a lot bigger earlier. It was about 9, and about 2 days ago, I think.
John,
it's rapidly disappearing into 11 and 2 and 5 as we speak now.
It's what John does. This is what he does. He does that. With his marker account. I'm not mentioning which firm, but he's always doing things like that. Yeah, disgrace. No value for punters left as John takes it all. But it's not 11.
I holiday in Stoke every year.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but there we go. 3 o'clock. We move on from that. So the Melrose is a unanimous consensus, folks. We think Sea of Kings is the right horse to be with. I do wish James Finch quite well in the Melrose with Many Men. He's one of the good guys in the game. Puts a lot of time and effort into it. Supports trainers well. Not the big trainers like people like Jim Boyle. It's really good to see that somebody like James Finch still supports British racing because some of his main interests are in France with the better prize money. So I hope James wins if we don't. 3 o'clock York, the city of York, now elevated to Group 1 status. I've got to say, surprisingly, John, after last year's affair, we thought they'd blown it in terms of what happened last year. Anyway, they've got it, they've done it. They're beating the chest at York at Group 1. Rosalian had the old bruised foot excuse for changing attack, obviously at Deauville. So he decided to sidestep Deauville last week at 4, of course, this race, which is a lot weaker, and he ends up 6 to 4 fav for the Yoghurt Cannon. So, John, I'm coming to your view first on the City of York.
Well, I think when you look at this race, your first conclusion would be that the Cannon ought to be winning it. It's really hard to make a case out of many of these to beat him, really. I mean, he looks as though he's got everything covered. But I don't think this horse has been in the same form this year as he was last. as much as I think he probably will win this, I can't bring myself to bet him at 6-4.
Mm.
Now, that's not to say I think he's a lay, because I don't particularly think everything in here has got the beating of him, but definitely want to sit out for me.
Okay, just coming on to Cannonball form. You're obviously for the first couple of days had the headwind,
Yeah.
and then the winds start to change. And even though there's not much of it, when there's no resistance at York, it can be a massive front running venue. The jockeys are going to have to play a very close eye onto Quinault. This is 3 from 3 at the track. I'm not saying he look on form. We know we can all read a form book. He shouldn't win this race. But he's very dangerous when he's loose and ignored. If he bolts 3 or 4 and no one sort of goes after him, I don't think I'd like to lay a pony.
No.
Imagine laying 25 to 1 that and it's 4 clear with 3 to go. What a bad feeling you've got there.
I'd like to think I'd be cool, calm and collected, but I don't think I would be.
No, it's a score race for me. I'd have a score at 25, Quinault. And if you're one of them traders on the machine, I'd probably try and trade it and nick a few quid as a back to lay, because the wind's turned round in the favour. There's no headwind now, so Jason Hart's a great jockey on horses over sprint trips, and nothing not to like about Quinault. But obviously, he's not good enough to win this on the book. Finn?
I completely agree with what John just said. I think Rosalian is an out-and-out miler. Will this suit? I'm not sure. Never So Brave, same again. He needed, when point liners went off like the clappers at Ascot, he needed every step of that mile. The problem in this race is Quinault and Audience are going to go off like the clappers, so it'll probably suit a closer. But I just thought the value was Lake Forest. Good evening, Jack.
It's a year late. If Jack could claim his ticket from a year ago, I meant the 225.
I was searching my pocket for last year's ticket, Nick, hoping it's still there. But yeah, I think we should give this a second chance tomorrow, Lake Forest. I thought he ran a great race in Milanix. It was the only one that kind of followed the leaders. I just think he's set for a big run tomorrow. He's a bit of a cliff horse, but I think he's worth another chance.
He's available around the 10 to 1 mark. The only thing that put me off, because I don't mind Lake Forest at the price. The shirt was interviewed and said that he's not sure about, even though he's won over this course, apparently he doesn't like the walk across the middle. He really is not happy. So, because he wouldn't go in the stalls last year, I wonder if that upset him across the middle, then he wouldn't play ball and go in the stalls. And I just wonder if, York's his bag. I don't know. But
he's won a gym crack, Lee. He's won a gym crack.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He is a course winner. He sounds stupid what I'm saying. But apparently that was the reason in June as well why he ran shit, because apparently he got really upset coming across the track and he was just...
Why don't the box him over?
What, limo him over, John?
Yeah, I've seen them box him over before.
Well, they might do. That's it. They actually might do that. I don't know. But that's what Agus says. That's what Agus says himself. He says he hates it. I just thought that were interesting. But yeah, so Lake Forest for Finn, and probably, I reckon Jack will probably have a little go on that.
Yeah, Jack keeps the faith. Pride Harrison, Lake Forest.
He'll have a nostalgic investment, won't he?
Can't cope if something like that wins after last year. So I think he'll be having a go. So Nick, where do you sit on the...
I actually would like to really lay the front two. I mean, we're looking at Rosalian, and then you look at his 3-year-old form, and it's, a neck beating of Hartime. The one he won race was St James Palace. It was a stiff mile. And I agree with Finn there. I don't know if this really sharp 7 furlongs is going to suit him.
Yeah.
Never So Brave at 5 to 2. I couldn't have on my mind after that race. I think I couldn't have my mind. We're all forgetting this French one that it looks certain to be swamped. And to me, everyone's writing it off as a soft ground animal. He's going to sit, I don't know where he'll go. He usually is up there, but he won't. Depends where Kirat goes as well. How's that going to be ridden tomorrow? You had Kirat put on Audience right up there. If they don't go too fast, and this is up their arse, I think that Morona Charlie will win a race. If they go too fast, I'm with Finn on Lake Forest there.
Right.
My thing would, I wouldn't mind laying, if I could, you can lay 6 to 4, 5 to 2. That's taking nearly 70% out, isn't it?
Anybody for the Gosden first time blinds angle on audience? Obviously, Gosden has a good record with blinds first time. Does that make a difference to him? Anybody?
Nah.
It'll
What
throw
price
his
was he in the race last year? Is 4 to 7 will you go off last year in this race?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I thought he was a twat when he was winning, so I'm not going to start backing him now.
Yeah, I completely agree, John. I would not be back in audience.
We don't want the Gosden first time blinds angle there. And it's getting towards that time of day when the tipping point's on. So 30 might look to stream it.
He'll forget to run on, won't he?
You have to get priorities right for young 30. Coming on to the big one, the very big one, the Sky Bet Ebor, which unfortunately I don't think it's progressing as a race I thought it once might. But still, it's a fair old field, this. Very competitive race. John, you told me, if it's price or anything, but you told me a bit ago, you couldn't have this beat in the race. Hip Hop Billois, I think you said.
That's right.
Yeah. Is it just because it's like 5 and you didn't want to sound obvious? Is that it?
No, it's because he should have probably won by about 9 lengths last year.
Yeah.
If you watch last year's race back, when they were going down the back straight, he had a lovely position, and a horse that was fatally injured dropped back through the field like a stone, taking Hip Hop Deloire with him for a good 10 to 12 lengths worth. Then when he had in the loss of momentum there, he was in a hopeless position turning in. Got hampered twice up the straight, and still somehow managed to finish 5th. Well, to me, he wasn't just the moral winner. I mean, he was the moral legendary winner, because I think he'd have won by a record margin. I think he had that much in hand. I think this is a proper horse, and I don't think 106 does him justice. I think we're in the 110s here with this boy, and I think on Willie had only had him a short time last year before his Ebor effort. He's had him a year now to get to know him and wrinkle out any little problems and everything. And for an 8-year-old, he's incredibly lightly raced since shifting over. He's been kept for this. I genuinely can't have him beat against these.
Did you enjoy the hurdles?
It was just a lap of honour, really, wasn't it?
Come on, punters will be wanting to know now, right? 7 or 2. Are you smashing back doors in?
I smashed the back doors in earlier in the week at 4-1.
Right. Yeah.
But I still think 7 to 2 was just about all right, and I think I'd draw the line at 11 to 4.
Okay. So you think there's some juice in this, and I agree with you, by the way. I just like getting loads of stuff out of you, like why you like it, and I totally agree. 7 to 2, I'm a massive player. I think probably, like John says, you get down to 11 to 4, and you probably start stopping in terms of betting it. But 7 to 2 for me is a great bet. If Colin Keane gets it right, and you get the luck in running, if this had every chance, John, would you be disappointed if this doesn't win?
I'll be disappointed if it doesn't win 3 or 4 lengths.
Right, there you go. You've heard it here first. This is what we are on Barsters. There's none of this fence-sitting rubbish. John said it. Finn?
I'm very scared to go against John here because I know he gets a nosebleed when he tips favourites. But I will give a shout out. I like a high draw in an Ebor. I feel like you need to be drawn high. And London City drawn box 18. I'll give you a Barsters exclusive here. On the 29th of June, I got a message from the O'Brien Snout saying 80% fit will need the run. So I watched it. It needed the run. It then had a lovely float up in a Group 2 a few weeks ago. And I thought, that could be an Ebor horse. Here it is, an Ebor. So 12 to 1. That's my first one. And the other one, drawn box 20, is Real Dream, who I backed an Ebor a few years ago, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, I remember, Nick. I was very impressed with his run behind Coltrane.
When you backed him in the Ebor before, he was on the cement diet at Freemason Lodge, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Ian Williams, trainer upgrade. He's been running well since that run behind Coltrane. And, 40 to 1, 7 places. Take that. So they are my 2 against John and the Ebor.
Interesting. So London City and Real Dream. It's the old Stout horse, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the
It
one.
was.
That's the one.
The old Baron horse, yeah, can remember that. We thought old Stouty. I don't know. Remember that meeting, John? All these runners seemed to run shit. He just
Yeah.
didn't have them right at all, did he?
No,
Yeah,
no, yeah.
I can remember Real Dream. We watched it crossing line, didn't we? It didn't even look like it could get round bend.
Yeah,
I think it was the meeting took place a couple of days after Parker Bowles had visited the yard.
Old sausage flange.
So,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, there you go. So Finn's come up with two nice ones there at prices. If you like a price, London City and Real Dream. Nick, you can finish us off for the Ebor.
I've done a split stake thing. I've backed two. I was quite impressed with Siege of Troy. His run up beyond Ethical Diamond. He ended up quite wide, and I thought he was beaten about 5 lengths, tongue tie first time pieces. I thought he was plugging on, and he meets Ethical Diamond on £8 better terms, and they've got a lad on claiming. I just thought the Irish do dominate this race. It's been a thing. Why I think that a low draw could maybe problematic in this race for Hip Hop. Is he in? Where is he in?
9.
9, yeah.
That's not bad, is it? Nine's not.
No. All I'm thinking is they have to rail out of this meet on the Saturday even more. I would be very interested to see what happens because Colin Keane's had a bit of a rough time over here, hasn't he? In some race, some high-profile things have gone wrong, and if they do come stand side, as they do sometimes, with the rail out, he could be either behind a wall of horses again, or find himself stranded in the centre of the course. So I've had a few. I mean, the price has gone on this now, unfortunately. Siege of Troy, and I've had one more stab at 16s, and it's now 11s. Majestic Warrior. We watched this, and it looked an absolute monster at that day. The second's now about £10 higher. Knights was come out and won a couple of times, isn't it? And I watched this through the line over a mile, and I think I said to you, and I think Dixon
we were
was
there. It was an edge.
We
bet.
were there.
Yeah, it was an edge bet.
We said this looks an absolute. It's a bull of a horse. It looks like.
Yeah.
We said this could be an Ebor horse later on in the year.
We did.
He's now in 17 with Ross Orion up, but I couldn't admit he impressed me more than any horse of Thursday, mainly after the line as well.
Yeah,
so I backed these two at 16s, and they're 10s and 12s now.
Can't argue with either of them. In fact, some great cases tonight. Listening to this podcast, there's some really good reasoning. Just to tell you about Patrick McGettigan that takes off the 7 on Siege of Troy. He is absolutely incredible for £7. And I'll tell you why he is. Because I always look for £7 claimers that can change leads of horses in the closing stages. And he can do it. Can switch whip hands. He's really good. Honestly, this lad is going places. And £7 is mustard. If you were slightly worried about the rider, at least you're going to get a switch of leads, like if it needs in a driving finish. He is very, very, very good and very competent at this stage of his career. And obviously he'll get better, but it's a great case, isn't it? I love it. Yeah, like everything that's been said there.
Is there any shout out for the Moral Melrose winner last year, subsequent?
Well, John?
No.
Thoughts?
We didn't even have him as moral, did we? I don't like the fucking earth.
Fair enough. Move on.
That answers that, Finn. Straight to the point on this show. 410 is the 6 furlongs Constantine Handicap, a heritage handicap, obviously for boring sprinters. And we're talking cannonballs this week in terms of the wind direction changing from the first 2 days. My selection goes Trap 11, which I kind of like the middle of the track at the moment. Twilight Calls for Richard Spencer, who, of course, absolutely pissed up on his side of the track, really. He went about 3 or 4 clear of them lot at one point and sort of faded late on to him by 3/4. But that ground wouldn't have been ideal. He's a top of the ground horse. You can see from his form, 96 is no problem. This is a horse that's finished second to Nature Strip in the King's Stand at Ascot for a corpse trainer in Henry Candy. They brought him back to the Boyle. Goodwood proves that he's in good nick. How on earth is he sort of around the 14-1 mark? Safi Osborne, not so keen, but it is one of them things. I just think this horse could run a huge race tomorrow on quicker ground and reverse the form with Two Tribes that was, of course, on the stand side in the Stewards' Cup. Thoughts on this, chaps? Nick, I'll come to you. You like your big field sprint handicaps.
This depends what happens in the Ebor and if they're coming near side. If they're coming near side, I'm going to have a really. This got beaten 44 lengths last time. They pulled up and thought there was something wrong with it. This it's been chucked in. It was chucked in the deep end in the Group 1 King. I was to say King Stan. It's King Charles or whatever it is now. It beat Tuesday's winner, Star of Memus here. It's only had 2 runs at York, won both. I just thought they must have thought an awful lot of it to chuck it in at Ascot in the Group 1. And then, of course, last time, they said it took a full step or something like that. But they're trying over 6 now. I don't know if it 100% will get 6. But I think it's got a big race in it, and it loves it. Do you know what is funny about York? It's a flat track, but it doesn't produce a lot of course specialists here. I've seen it over the years. A lot of courses either run really, really well or really badly here. Now, if there's a far side, when we were there on Wednesday, our intrepid reporter Jack, after the racing, went up and said to the trainer, "Well, what happened to this one then?" And first he said, "Fuck off, Jack," and then he said it got squeezed. It's Jordan Electrics, and if you look at this one with the extra half a furlong,
it went off. I put it out on the first pod. It wasn't off a yard. Jordan Electric.
No, it did get squeezed. It got squeezed a couple of times. I watched this race back. If you look at its record when it comes back within 7 days, it's quite interesting. It's won a couple and been placed a couple. So from a previous quick turnaround, it has run well. So it all depends where they come in the Ebor. To me, I want to see which part of the track they go. If they come up the middle, I'll just go and have a drink instead.
I'm not having it. Anyone says any different? I've watched races all my life. He wasn't off. I could see Will Rennan's body language. He wasn't interested. He wasn't having a bar of it. We even talked on the track about, are they lining this up for the Air Gold Cup? Obviously, with the Air Gold Cup, is that what they want? You know what these jocks are like. They love to win that fucker. So
but he's got a good record, quick turnaround. 16-1, I thought was decent.
It's bigger than that. 25. Yeah, pony.
But it was. I'm looking on.
16's best now. 16's.
Oh fucking hell! They took me the other day. Weak as piss it was. 9-1. It was 15 on the machine. Come on, Keys. Let's have your money. And so I did. And then what did they do? Dreadful people. Jordan Electrics then for Nick. And if that wins, you're going to see me headbutting things because, this is not fair. Not fair. I put it the other day. It was Nick, it was second to fucking JM Jungle. In that race last year. Over 5.5. Fuck the trip.
That's my probable bet anyway, so I hope
It was Mulrennan doing the old wings with terrible outfit. Anyway, so that's my view on that. But I'm not going to let that run loose then and win because I'll be sick. I'll be like Jack on Lake Forest when that wins for Finn and Nick. Finn and Nick are crowing, saying, we've put that up, And then poor Jack, he's going to have a one on that at least, isn't he? He's going to have to. Finn, your view on this?
Again, like Nick, it's all down to the draw, really. What's the win form saying tomorrow, Lee?
Win form's saying slightly behind, but there's not much of it. But there's no resistance, so usually it's cannonball run.
Okay, so that wouldn't really suit Jordan Electric.
Possibly not.
The same as John, I gave up with York Sprint handicaps a long time ago. As a token selection, I'll put up Strike Red, course form, but no real strong opinion in this race, to be honest.
Fair play. If you haven't got one, like you said, best not to mislead punters down a garden path. Jonas?
Seeing as how Summer Gan's retired, I won't be bothering.
It should be called the Summer Gan Handicap, this, John.
Yeah.
Well, I just chose to back him in this. I won't.
We should. The 445 is the Roses Stakes. And I'll be honest, this is the race I hate the most of the entire meeting because it's usually for horses that aren't good enough to run in the better 2-year-old races this week. They tend to be speed balls. I'll be honest, it's just not my expertise. So I'm going to pass on this one. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not going to give you a selection, or I just don't like the race at all. John?
Yeah, thanks very much. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about the Carl Birch horse, who made a sparkling debut at Nottingham, but has run like an absolute cunt the last twice. Awful effort. I don't think 8-1 is enough compensation for the fact you're having to back something that's run like an absolute cunt twice.
Yep.
I can't have that. The favourite looks solid enough, in all fairness. Silent the Flaws was quite handy when winning a turn. I mean, when I say handy, he sat last of 3, but he was near enough, you know. Took it up 2 out and just stuck on nicely, you know. So, I mean, if they do go like Sting and he's front rank 2 out, you'd expect him to keep going. I just think it's a nasty, nasty race, to be honest. If you put a gun to me head, I'd have to go with the favourite, but if I could get my hands on the gun, I'd turn it on you and shoot you the fuck up.
Terrible from you, though, this. You said on 22nd of May, it's in print. Looks a right cunt on the phone.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, awful. And now you're tipping it up. Dreadful. We move on from John there, playing on the Roses Stakes tomorrow, folks. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, no.
Nick Davis.
No.
We've got to have one Noah show, haven't we? I love this. And Nick, no. So you can tell our feelings on this. Can Finn pull one out of the fire here?
Well, when I first looked at this race, I thought the only way I'd get involved with a filly tomorrow is if I discovered Leeds Uni Netball Society were in Pot World.
Aye, aye! That's what we want to hear on this show. Absolutely.
However, I looked again, and Revival Power for Happy Timms. At the start of the week, I was very keen on the Alice Keppel form from Goodwood. So Revival Power was second behind Spicy Marg and Temple of Athena in third. Spicy Marg and Temple of Athena have run crap. So the form hasn't really held up, but I'm prepared to give it another chance. 15-2. That'll do me tomorrow.
It's interesting, this, because he did step forward after obviously disappointing at Ascot. But I love John's notes from Ascot. He said, shit ride from Thick Dave. Hopefully will improve, but it could have damaged her mentally.
It's not very often Happy Tim has a debut winner, is it, John?
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the angle.
He used to have that one at Ripon, didn't he? That race at Ripon in April.
That stopped about 15 years ago.
Oh, did it? I'm getting too fucking old now.
That was before I was born, so...
It stopped 15 years ago. I stopped backing me minutes about 6 years ago. I was still doing it in for 9 years before I realised it was a fool's errand.
Yeah. So Tim and King Power, Revival Power for Finn. It's probably the most credible selection we've got in the Roses Stakes. And of course, we move on to the finale, which is the 520, the Steve Birch finale. Now, obviously, me and Nick have gone head-to-head in this. We're very strong. The top of the market, as Nick says, with Mahaba Gayath. Why the hell are they running this off 102 when they could have run off 95 in the Clipper? That's just bonkers. Westridge has gone up quite a bit in the weights. Solid-ish, can't really knock it. That's why it's obviously top of the market. Me and Nick have made our cases in this. So this comes down to a shootout here between Mr. Leng and Mr. Finn. I'm going to come to Finn first. I'd like to see Finn's opinion on the finale.
Jan, are you not concerned about the John Smith's form, Lee? Austin Theory came last today.
It probably wasn't the strongest of John Smith's, in all fairness.
Fox Legacy.
But you could also say the winner, Fox Legacy, obviously, Jeff Coombs at Goodwood. So we know what regard we hold Archivist, and he didn't do it. We were disappointed he didn't do it. We definitely felt he would win, but there you go. Yeah, I can take your point on board. I mean, you look just in behind Erzincan, Dartmouth Rising, Nakib. Are these world beaters? Not really. Austrian Theatre. They weren't. No. Are they well handicapped? No, not particularly. But what I say is, that you can't argue with the clock sometimes. And this did get a £90 upgrade for what it did. It was nearly impossible to do what it did, to come from where it did and finish where it did. It was the only horse in the race you could probably take out of it. Possibly Dark Moon Rising as well. And I suppose some will argue, like yourself, Finn, and you're about to, that Dark Moon Rising's not done it since. So come on, Finn, hit me.
The one I'm going to put up is for all the Scarface fans, Tony Montana.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to forgive the last 2 runs. This was on the Cambridge's shortlist a few years ago. I am going to contradict myself here, but it was second behind Thunder Run at York in May, and Thunder Run was also in the John Smiths. But we're getting 16-1 against your 8-1 Erzincan. So I hate to go against you, Lee, but I'm going to rock along with Tony Montana tomorrow.
Yep, for Bell and Rowan Scott. Fair play. Look, it's one of them. The John Smith this year didn't have the usual depth it probably does. So I do concede that. But if Erzincan didn't have the back class, I'd be sort of more aligned to your views that potentially there's holes in the form of that race. John, this is the head-to-head with good old Finn. What we're saying?
We've had a bit of a discussion regarding the worth of the John Smith form. Now, I thought the John Smith Cup, or the Magnet Cup as it should be called still, was perfectly all right.
Okay.
And I thought it hinted at the time of a renaissance for Dark Moon Rising, because I thought he ran quite well in that. He was only beaten 5 1/4. And I thought he responded rather well to Le Femme Touche. And sometimes, it's all right. You can laugh and mock and all the rest of it, right? But sometimes these jeering old geldings that's getting a bit fed up and sick, they can produce the goods for a lighter touch, shall we say.
Is this like you?
I produce the goods no matter what kind of touch it is. No worries on that scar. And yeah, I mean, I quite like the value of this. I think he's not been beaten far. He's hinted that he's on song. He's definitely on a good mark. And this sounds ridiculous, but I am going to say the amount of times this meeting ends on a really fucking sour note for punters, I think that is something worth taking into account.
No, it didn't that time when James Orton's won.
I know, we were all over that anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Fuck the punters that day.
Yeah.
But this meeting can end on a real downbeat fucking note, and I'd rather side with the downbeat note, to be honest. So a little tiddly bet each way on Dark Moon Rising for me.
I think it could beat Erzincan in terms of how it was run. But
we must give a shout out to good old Sir Busker. Last race tomorrow. What a star.
Yeah. What a career and a lot of pleasure he's provided punters over the years. Absolutely. Yeah. Doff the cap to Sir Busker. One of the few that can keep sound as he gets older and keep going. Obviously regressing in terms of ability now, but still, what a horse over the years. Coming to the last part of the show, chaps, and we've had a great York this week. We've all enjoyed it. We've sampled the wares of York and the atmosphere, all 4 of us. What are we saying in terms of any other business Saturday away from York? Have anyone got anything for punters maybe on other TV races? Anything you've looked at? Finn, anything for you?
I was going to tip a horse at Cartmel, but I didn't want to offend you boys.
Oh, please do. You can offend us all you like, because we don't care. It's our punters that need some advice.
No, I'm going to skip the Cartmel tip because this is a flat podcast, not a jumps podcast. I've got a football tip instead for you.
Oh, right. Yeah, football sports service. Pasture and sports service. Go on.
This is the Saturday banker. Stevenage to beat Huddersfield. So Stevenage have won the first 4 games. Huddersfield are still being priced up like they're a championship team. They're not. They're currently odds on to beat them. Their winger, Sorba Thomas, has come to my team, Stoke City. They've got Alfie May up front, who's still hanging out with Catherine Fry from the Cheltenham Time days.
In his XR3.
In his XR3, yeah. They were 4-1 in the week. They're now 3-1. That's still absolutely fine. Draw no bet, whatever you like. That is the Saturday banker.
Wow. Loving this. Finn football betting special.
And don't forget, punters, to volunteer to pay extra tax on your football bet.
Absolutely.
Get yourselves used to what's coming. Ha ha.
Get used to it. Yeah, get used to this. Get used to worse value coming forwards. Right, so the three of us left. Nick, anything elsewhere for you that caught your eye?
Goodwood.
Go on.
205. A reverse forecast. A lot of them here. The pace is drawn wide. I think Great Acclaim's going to get a run, and Back in Black, and it tips up a reverse forecast. Those two.
Wow.
Ooh.
So Great Acclaim 13-2.
9-2. A reverse forecast.
Lovely. Nicely. Loving it. And you're due after landing the Cesarevich forecast. Was that last year, year before?
Year before. I know.
Yeah.
I did tip one at Epsom last year.
Yeah. A Davis reverse forecast is just about due now. After a while, it's sort of like, no. And we're due a Davis reverse forecast. So it could be this very weekend. Thank you, Nick. John?
On the July Cup. No, on the
Do you love the July course? John, the good thing is with the July course, this is it. Tomorrow, that's it. They're done.
party time. I don't know who's playing after racing, but if there's a band on, I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, back to the Rowley.
Yes.
That's what we need, isn't it? Yeah, we need the Rowley back. The dip, John, due to the watering, what's that now become?
The trench. You get trench foot 2 furlongs out at your way.
Trench form. Do you know what I made Graham Good saying about the bushes, going past the bushes? They don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Have they took the bushes out?
Didn't they?
Oh, did they? Well, what fun.
Some people still refer to the bushes, even though there's no one.
Yeah, we like the bushes. Anyway.
I remember when they didn't have any rails until the final 3 furlongs. Do you remember that, John?
Oh, yeah. They had them little fucking wooden things inked down, didn't there? About 8 inches high. Absolutely lethal if anybody fell on one.
I think that's all. We've had a great week at York, and we hope to finish it off in style. So hopefully you've got something out of this show, as always. We're back on Sunday to talk more nonsense. And I've got a feeling this won't be Finn's last show after this rather impressive debut. Let us know what you think about Finn. Preferably good, not bad. I'm not telling the bad stuff.
If I tip or lose, you can get rid of me forever. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, rise or fall on this one for Finn. And of course, Dragon Bet. Good luck to Dragon Bet on course, wherever they may reside this week and going forth. That's all from us. Bye for now.